Welcome to the webinar to discuss Jelly Babies, the next HROnboard release. So as we sort of get going, a couple of short housekeeping items. You are all on listen only mode, so you can hear us, we can't hear you. But if you want to ask questions, please do so. Use the little Q&A button that you'll see on your screen, and you'll have a window that pops up. You can ask questions. We will be going through questions at the end. We will answer a couple. If they're easy ones, we might answer them as we go. Otherwise, we'll answer them all at the end. So that's the housekeeping. So your presenters, myself, Michael Specht. I look after the customer success team here at HROnboard, and I'll be the one talking and going through doing the slideshow bit. And I've got Simone with me.
Hi everybody.
Simone's going to be running the demonstration, being leading, I guess, the dangerous part of the webinar, doing a live software demo for you. So we hope that all goes well. Also, I guess, in recognition of the Formula One Grand Prix that's here in Melbourne on the weekend, you'll notice that a lot of our test offers are going out to Formula One drivers. Simone's a bit of a Formula One fan. So let's... Jelly Babies. Jelly Babies is the name of our 12th release. We like to name our releases by lollies. We've used lots of different lolly names over the last couple of years. Jelly Babies is the current one. And what's in Jelly Babies? We've got a lot of stuff in Jelly Babies. There's probably 4 major categories of items. The first one is around companies and locations. We've introduced better support for organisations that have multiple entities. So that might be a single company that has multiple employing entities, or it could be a company of a group of brands that sort of work under multiple legal entities. And then also the idea of locations within there. And Simone will show you sort of how that looks within the user interface. And this really is going to simplify some of the setups for some of our larger customers. Another feature for probably our larger customers as well is single sign-on. We've introduced single sign-on as part of this release. So that, for those that don't know, that allows your back office users, so HR, payroll, to log on to HROnboard using the same credentials that they log on to their computers with, so your network IDs. So it is single sign-on, which means if you're logged onto your network and it's all set up, when you go to HROnboard, you are automatically logged in without having to re-enter usernames and passwords. We're going to demonstrate that. Again, this will be a little bit dangerous because single sign-on, if you are technical, is a fairly complicated way, and it does need your IT team to be involved and needs to be set up. So if you are a larger organisation and want to sort of look at single sign-on, definitely contact the customer success guys, and we can then walk through that. Now, a few other little changes. We've done some back office changes and improvements around user management and role management. Simone will go through and demonstrate that. And a couple of new features. For many of our customers, you've got the ability, or you've got configured reviews. So as an offer goes out, you've set up that it needs to go be reviewed by maybe the HR director or a senior manager or a general manager in your organisation. With the Jelly Babies release, we're introducing the ability to make those reviews on condition. So a good example is if the salary is over a certain level, that it needs to go for a second level of review. So these conditions can be really quite complex and built around maybe locations or other attributes within the application. So that's really awesome. Now, the final back office change is this concept of additional forms. This allows us to set up forms that are completed during the offer process by a back office user, so maybe payroll or HR, and allows you to collect additional information. And we're going to demonstrate this using a US environment. So one of the use cases for this is for the I-9 form in the US, where the candidate has to complete some information, and then once the candidate's accepted the offer, payroll or HR need to go on in and verify that they've cited documentation, and then that needs to still produce the I-9 form. So we'll go through and demonstrate that. There's a couple of other use cases that we can use that for, but I'll let Simone talk you through that. And finally, probably something just to remind people, I guess, we're changing our browser support. So Microsoft from the 12th of January this year ceased security updates for Internet Explorer 9 and 10. And so now we're moving to making sure that we support Internet Explorer 11 and above. We still support Firefox, Chrome, Safari and Microsoft's Edge, but for those users that are using IE 9 and 10, we're now presenting sort of a warning message. Those browsers are basically de-supported by Microsoft and there'll be no more security updates. And we feel given HROnboard stores a lot of private and confidential information that we need to make sure that we're in compliance with the latest security information. So they're the major highlights of the release. So what we might do is hand over to Simone and we're going to take a look at the setup.
Fabulous. Thank you, Michael, for an awesome introduction. The first feature I wanted to demonstrate today was user management. Now, Sue is logged in as an administrator and she has control of all user accounts and their permissions. Manage your users by clicking Admin and then selecting Users. Let's have a look at roles. Roles define what users can do. HROnboard comes with a standard list of roles that you can edit to suit your own needs. For example, we need the HR role to be able to import offers in bulk. Assign or unassign users to the role. If you feel the need to add more roles to HROnboard, click Add Role. It's as simple as giving it a name, assigning some permissions, and the users as I've just shown. Let's have a look at managing users. We can add a user by entering their details. We can force a user to change their password when they first sign in. We can assign a role to the user. We can also define their record visibility. When you click Add User, an email is sent to that user with a temporary password. You can also edit existing users. Let's take a look at updating Rick's record visibility. This brings us to our next feature, companies and locations. We've improved the way legal entities and locations are managed. This includes the ability to define record visibility dependent on the company or location's offers and exits are prepared for. Rick currently has access to his own records. This means he can only see and search and also prepare offers, or see and search for those offers that he's created and those records that have been assigned to him. For example, he may have been assigned as part of a review process. We'll change that to companies and locations. This option allows Rick to see, search for and prepare offers and exits for a particular company that he's been assigned to. To narrow down Rick's record visibility, assign him to a particular location that he needs to prepare offers for. For example, Texas. You'll see how this works when Rick actually prepares an offer. For the meantime, Sue's job is done and we can log out. The next feature I'd like to demonstrate is single sign-on. Rick is able to log into HROnboard with his network credentials in one single click. It wasn't that bad, was it, Michael?
No.
If you have someone to a compliant identity provider, feel free to contact us and we'll be able to enable single sign-on in HROnboard for you. Since we've set Rick's record visibility to Marin Company Australia, he can create an Australian onboard. Instead, let's create one for the US. Since Rick only needs to create offers in Texas, he isn't able to select any other location. Let's enter some details of our new hire. So, in the spirit of the Formula One Grand Prix that's happening this weekend, I'm creating an offer for Daniel Ricciardo. Oh. As I'm entering details for Daniel's offer, I'd like to demonstrate our next feature, which is conditional reviews. Conditional reviews allow you to set business rules against each level of review, rendering them either required or not required. We'll set Daniel's salary to $90,000, which is probably a lot less than what he actually earns, but for today's demo, his offer will actually bypass the review process because our business rule is to only review those offers that are over $100,000. Let's continue and send the offer for review. As part of the review process, you need to select a reviewer, and I'm going to show you how the review is actually skipped by looking at Daniel's offer file. So you can see here that the offer's been prepared. It's then bypassed the review process and the offer has been sent directly to Daniel. In the meantime, Daniel's already accepting his offer. I'm going to show you Lewis Hamilton's offer. Being a little bit of a more experienced driver in Formula One, he's been offered a salary of over $100,000. This means his offer is currently under review before the offer is sent to him. Since Daniel's already accepting his offer, it doesn't mean he's not only a quicker driver, but he's also faster at accepting his offer. Not having a dig at Lewis, by any means. So that's Rick's jobs done. We can log out. Last but not least, I'd like to demonstrate additional forms. Some HR or payroll processes require additional information to be collected either during the processing of an offer or post-offer acceptance. HROnboard now allows additional forms to be actioned by back office users outside of the regular workflow that's experienced by new hires. I'm going to log in as Betty. She's going to be completing Section 2 of the I-9 form. It's a legislative requirement in the US to cite legal documents to prove an employee's right to work. Betty has outstanding I-9 forms to complete, and she can view that in the form of tasks. Okay. As Betty cites the required documents, or Daniel's required documents, she can record them in HROnboard. Once she's done, she can confirm that the offer has been complete, or that the form has been completed. And that's the I-9 form completed. She can download the I-9 form and store that form wherever she needs to. This is an example of a completed I-9 form. So we can see that Section 1 is already filled in by the candidate, but what Betty has recorded here is now populated in the form, and the form is signed by that representative. Other examples of using additional forms are to enter payroll specific information before sending the data to a downstream payroll system. So for example, this might be a position code or an employee ID. So Michael, that does complete my demonstration for today. I was wondering if there were any questions out there.
Yeah, we do have a question. Can review rules be applied to contract types or just salary levels?
So it's any business rule that you are capturing whenever you prepare the offer. So for example, it could be if you are offering a salary that's above award, for example, or if you have a particular contract type, it could be an executive contract that you're sending out that you need reviewed.
It also could be other completely different things, such as
Yep.
if it's an underage hire
Yep.
or other sorts of things. So it's really, it really is whatever business rule you want. So it's definitely not salary. That's just the easy one to demo.
Yeah, totally.
What we might do is jump back to the slides.
Thank you.
Thank you for the demo.
No problem. Oh, sorry.
Yes, so what we'll be doing is available on the HUG now, sort of our HROnboard user guide, are the release notes for the Jelly Babies release. We've got some instructions on there, so you can go have a look at that. You can get links to that out of the application at various points where it says help. Jelly Babies goes live this Sunday, so you all should be seeing a notification that there is an outage that will be live. So come Monday morning when you come back into the office, Jelly Babies will be live for you and we'll be able to start introducing some of these new features to our customers. So what we want to do is, there's been a lot of hard work that's gone in over the last 3 months just to get this quarterly release done. So I want to thank all of the team that have been involved. Because it's a team effort. It's not just one person or a couple of people. Everybody here, especially through the development and the testing. Special thanks go out to our development team who've done some amazing things over the last three months. So what's next? Our next release, which will be coming up next quarter, is currently called Milk Bottles. And there's going to be a couple of main features in the Milk Bottles release. It'll be more DIY, do-it-yourself admin, like with the users, like with tasks. It'll be more exposing that ability out to our administrators of the customer administrators. And then the second big feature, there'll be a lot within both of these features, is the HROnboard marketplace. What we're doing is we're enhancing, we've started to do a little bit of it in Jelly Babies, but really the main outcome is within Milk Bottles, is we're building a marketplace where we've built some predefined integrations with a number of recruitment systems and payroll systems so that you can just turn on and off the specific integrations with these various systems. It'll not just be payroll systems. For those that are technical, we will be also allowing for integrations with collaboration tools like Slack, and also if your IT guys are around, they can also set up an HTTP push notification at various points in the workflow. So what that actually allows you to do is to configure the ability for HROnboard to communicate with any other application that has a web service at any stage within the offer process. So if you wanted a message to go out at review or on offer complete or forms complete, you're able to do that. So the marketplace is coming, and we'll be integrating with a number of well-known recruitment products and payroll products, including here in Australia, Job Adder, and in the US, Smart Recruiter will be some of the products that will be integrated there. So we're really looking forward to that. So that's sort of our quick review of what's in the Jelly Babies release. If you love HROnboard, please tell a friend. We really appreciate it. And also on Capterra, which is a software review site, we've been getting some lovely reviews by some of our customers. So we want to thank everybody who's done that. That's really appreciated. And so got a couple of questions here. One question is around the business rules. Can the business rules be entered and defined by the user?
So at this stage, it's not configured by our end users. We do envision this for future releases. At the moment, it's configured by HROnboard or as part of support.
Yeah, and that's where that exposing the DIY admin, once we expose the ability to do reviews,
Yep.
That'll come in there as well.
Yep.
We've got another question.
Ooh.
Can we use additional forms to cite and confirm police checks and working with children's checks?
Yes, that is true. We can essentially activate additional forms at any part of the process. So if there is information about a police check that you want to enter in while the candidate is accepting the offer, then you are able to do that.
Yeah, and that's very similar to the I-9 type of setup.
Yeah.
So it's really any additional information that might come in during that process can be done through additional forms.
Yeah.
So it's a really good flexible feature.
Absolutely.
Just wondering if there are any more questions that are coming on in. Give people a couple of seconds. Additional forms, are these available to the new employee in their portal?
So the forms that the candidates can fill out is already a part of that workflow. The additional forms are more to facilitate the back office users where you need to capture that information when the workflow is somewhere else. So if an offer is currently with a candidate for acceptance, the back office can log in and enter the information that they need to. So yeah, to answer that question, candidate forms would already be in the candidate's workflow if they need to fill it out.
Yep.
I hope that answers your question.
And look, if anybody wants more information about how these features might be used within your particular environment, with your particular setup, just let us know. You can either send an email to support@hronboard.me or give us a call.
Yep.
And we can talk through and get one of the consultants to sit down with you and sort of work through the best way maybe to use this. If you've got a specific business problem or way that you want to use conditional reviews or the additional forms, just let us know, and the guys can sort of help you work through it.
Yeah.
Looks like we don't have any more questions, so we might leave the short webinar there, let everybody get on for their lunch. We'd like to thank everybody. Thank you, Simone, for your demonstration of the features, and thank you everybody for participating. We'll be in contact soon.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Look forward to the release on Monday. Thank you, everybody.
Have a great day.